Welcome to our Obon Hatsubon service. Happy to see all of you here today. Our supervising minister, Reverend Dennis Fujimoto from the Buddhist Temple of Alameda, is with us today for this special occasion. I'd like to begin the service with a Obon meditation poem. So please join me by putting your hands in Gasho as I read this. Obon, a time to touch the past, feeling the joy and gratitude of obligation for family, a time for our ancestors to live on in our heart. A time to touch the present, feeling compassion and connection of all life in all realms. A time for all life to live on in our heart. A time to touch the future, praying for an end to rebirth for all life in all times. A time for all life to become one heart. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Please stand for our opening gatha. Obon, Obon, it's festival day. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Please be seated. Hatsubon families are those families which have experienced the loss of a loved one since the last Obon of a year ago. Because of the COVID pandemic restrictions, we haven't had an in-person Hatsubon service here at Enmanji since July of 2019. Hatsubon means first Obon. It is a time of special mindfulness. With memories of their loss and its consequences still very immediate, this service pays special attention to the understanding of those who remain. For other families, the Hatsubon service is an opportunity to remember those who have died, to recall the importance of the continued influence their lives have upon us. At this time of the service, we will honor 8 Hatsubon families. I will read the name of the honoree, and a family member or members or a temple representative will bring up a candle from the entrance of the Hondo up to the Onaijin. The candle will be handed to Reverend Fujimoto to be placed on the altar. We will begin in memory of Roy Yamashita. In memory of Alice Sugiyama. In memory of Akiko Nojima. In memory of Karen Matsumoto. In memory of Donna Tokugawa. In memory of Maxine McInnes. In memory of Jean Mukaida. in memory of Clarine Sunada. Thank you. As we take a moment to gaze upon the Enmanji, we see 8 candles representing the 8 honorees. We see 8 shining lights. May the memories of these special individuals forever shine in our hearts. We will now have Oshoko representatives from the temple organizations representing the Dharma School is Linda Miyazaki. Representing the Buddhist Women's Association is BWA President Claire Shimizu. Representing the Enmanji Temple is Board President Diane Ono. Sensei will continue with the Sambujo and dedication. Today's sutra chanting is Sanbutsuge.
On this occasion of the Obon Hatsubon service for 2022, we gather to express our gratitude to all things and beings which make our lives possible. In our recognition of the interdependency and impermanence of all of life, we are made to see the preciousness of each and every person, who in their own special way manifest their unique color and light. In the spirit of Obon, let us reflect upon our own limited views and begin to radiate warmth and understanding towards others so that we may discover a deeper meaning and fulfillment in our shared lives. In this moment of meditation, we remember our loved ones. We express our love, respect, and gratitude. We endeavor to listen to their voiceless voice, urging us to awaken to the truths of the Dharma. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. mi phu đề đan phu se cho y kai ni cho jin nyo ze san mai chi e i jo o se toku bun fu gyo shi gan i sai ku ku i sa dayan ke shi u bun yaku zen no kuman mu ryo dai sho shu ryo go ja ku yo i sai shi to sho bun fu nyo bu no ken sho fu gyaku i nyo go ja sho bun se kai bu fu ka ge mu shu sen do kong yo shi sho en shi sho koku nyo se sho jin i jin nan ryo ryo ga sa un koku do dai ichi go shu ki myo do jo cho zen yoku nyo nayon ni mu to so ga to ai min do dan ni sai ji po rai sho shinen shoujo ito ga koku keraku anon kobun shinmyo ze ga shinsho hongan no hi riki sho sho yoku jippo se son chi en buge cho ryo shi son chi ga shin gyo ke ryo shin chi shoku doku ju ga gyo sho jin yin ju fu ke naman dabu naman dabu naman dabu naman dabu namanda.
Sensei will now give his Dharma message.
Namanda, 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 namanda. Hello, everyone. Nice to be back here. Nice to see everyone. It's always a special weekend to have our Obon festivities on the Saturday, and then this very special service for our Sunday service. So nice to be a part of your service this year. So this Hatsubon service is a memorial service, and we have a special welcome to our Hatsubon families, and we're able to show support to those who have lost a loved one during this time from last year's Obon to this year's Obon. And we are also able to reflect upon our own lives as well. We're able to reflect. And as we do so, our own roles, we switch our roles year by year, and we kind of take turns being the Hatsubon families when we do lose someone, and to be someone, a supportive part of the Sangha when others are the Hatsubon families. So the temple allows us to reciprocate our concern and our support. So I think this is very important as we become, as part of a temple, we're able to receive support during these very difficult times when we lose someone so dear to our lives, to our families, and then when it's someone else's turn, we're able to provide that support to them, and the temple provides the opportunity to do so, to be in this reciprocating relationship. And this is very important. And so, not only to be on the receiving end, but to be on the giving end, and to return the favor that we've received so many times. I'd like to begin with a quote, so please join me in Gassho. However much love and pity we may feel in our present lives, it is hard to save others as we wish. Such compassion remains unfulfilled. It is the saying of the Nembutsu that is the mind of great compassion. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. So this quote is from the Tanisho, and it is saying that although we feel love and concern for people near to us, our parents, our children, our closest friends, we can't really do all we would like to do for them. We can't make their lives completely comfortable. We can't take away their pain that life situations and circumstances bring. We can't take away their suffering that sickness and age bring upon each of us. As much as we would like to, our powers are limited. So this quote is comparing human compassion to pure compassion, my compassion to the great compassion of Amida. Okay? Great compassion means compassion unhindered by ego. So this is referring to the compassion that is pure and infinite, that of Amidas. Okay? Every year during the Obon season, we have our Obon festival, this Hatsubon service, and we also have some families going to cemeteries for visitations to family sites. There might be a couple stops to go to, and so these three items might be included in the weekend. During the festival, we welcome guests to our temple. We enjoy Japanese American culture, Buddhist traditions, and the fellowship and camaraderie of our fellow Sangha members. It's a festival that's so nice to enjoy, tantalizing, our tastes and the sounds and the sights of a Obon festival. Something cooking in the air, the music going on, the clothing is, yukata and happy coats. Everything is so festival. So we enjoy this. The cemetery visitations allow families to pay respects to their family members. And then we come to this Obon Hatsubon service, and it's an opportunity where we see and participate in recognizing these cycles of loss. They are deep and personal, and at the same time shared and common to us all. Listen as I read these verses. We're going to sing this song towards the end of our service, and it goes like this, the English translation. Riding on the dragonfly, guests are coming from faraway Pure Land. It is the yearly visit of our guests. Dragonfly, dragonfly, red dragonfly, lighting the bonfires and paper lanterns, we all go out to meet our guests. So these are words from Obon no Uta, and we'll sing this later. And we can imagine little people riding on the backs of dragonflies. I have these images. I think I've seen a little drawing before. Small people riding on the backs of dragonflies. They have a little helmet on and flyer goggles over their eyes. Spirits and ghosts returning from the Pure Land to visit us. Are they spirits and ghosts, or are they memories and recollections? All the festivals, visitations, and services are based on the story of Obon that we find in the Ulambana Sutra. And we have this in our program as well. So every culture has stories of origin, and this is one of ours that kind of explains where our Obon traditions come from. So let me share this again. It's good to hear it each year, or maybe you're hearing it for the very first time. Moggallana was a disciple of Shakyamuni Buddha, and he had these meditative powers that he would be able to see into other realms of existence. So he decided to use these powers to see where his mother was after she had passed away. She had been such a good mother to him. Surely he was sure she would be in one of the heavenly realms, being very comfortable after such a life that she led. So he was exploring, looking through the heavenly realms, and he was shocked that he could not find her there. He was certain that she would be there. And he looked through the next realm and the next realm, the human realm, fighting spirits, beasts. Still, he could not find his mother. Okay, he could not imagine what might have happened to cause his mother to fall to a lower realm still. He thought, surely he must have missed her. But he decided to look in the realms of hell, and there he found her being punished for living a life of greed and excess. So Moggallana couldn't understand this. She tried to make sure he had everything in his life, providing him food and clothing and encouraging him at school to do the best he can and to take advantage of his opportunities. So how could someone like this, who had taken such good care of him, to fall into hell? So he went to the Buddha and asked Shakyamuni, how could such a thing happen? And so he was told by the Buddha that the very things that he had provided for Moggallana are the very reasons that she fell into hell. Her desire to get the best for him made her insensitive to the needs of others. Okay? She had scratched and clawed through others to get what was best for her family and for Moggallana. So Moggallana asked the Buddha, is there anything I can do to make her more comfortable? So the Buddha suggested, well, maybe you could put on a feast and invite your fellow disciples, and we can all gather and enjoy in the food that you provide. So he did this. He called upon the other disciples, brought lots of nice food, and they enjoyed the feast and the festivities. And as they were enjoying everything, and in this atmosphere, Moggallana started to dance in joy over this. He saw that his mother was elevated into a heavenly realm and no longer suffering in the states of hell. So being happy and dancing joyfully, this was considered to be the beginning of the Obon festival. Okay? So through this story, we're brought to consider many Buddhist ideas and concepts, transference of merit, doing something to benefit others, doing something to benefit the self, the Bodhisattva ideal to live with compassion for all other beings. So many questions come to mind if we really think about it. So why was his mother placed in hell? What did she do? What is the lesson to this story? It sounds like doing good deeds and helping the temple and the members might help your dead relatives. But the quote from the Tanisho that we started with says that's not so. So concepts from early Buddhism seem to be in conflict with concepts of our Shin Buddhism. It can be confusing if we really think about it. And with all these ideas, usually we are brought to the conclusion that during Obon we should recognize and appreciate our elders, our ancestors, and our loved ones. In my own interpretation, trying to make sense of this story, I thought maybe the mother fell into the hell of hungry ghosts because her whole life, her motivations were selfish. She was not some evil person. She was not the wicked witch. She was just like your mother, my mother, looking out for us as well as she could. She wanted the most and the best for her son. So all the traits of a mother that we recognize and praise on Mother's Day are the very reasons she fell into hell. Moggallana's motivations were also selfish. He was not concerned with all beings equally. He was only concerned for his mother. With his supernatural abilities, he was searching to find his mother. He was willing to do whatever was necessary to end her suffering. Okay? Not everyone's suffering, her suffering. So in this sense, just by being human, we cause suffering. We have to live. We have to eat. We necessarily bring suffering and even death to others. Shin Buddhism tells us to recognize this fact that we are part of the chain of consumption, the chain of interdependence, the chain of life. The point of the story is that the depth of our self-centeredness is bottomless. It's not that we are bad, but that we are human. We are attached to this world. We are attached to this life. We are attached to family and friends, attached to our jobs, our concerns, our responsibilities. Our lives are nothing but layer upon layer of attachments. The Shin Buddhist teachings bring us to recognize the fact that we are self-centered and selfish, even in our concern for others, even in our acts of giving and compassion. We are self-centered and selfish. In contrast, there's the realm of Amida, infinite compassion, infinite wisdom, pure, natural, selfless. So through the Nembutsu comes recognition and awareness. The Shin Buddhist teachings bring us to resolve the separation of our world of attachments and the realm of Amida. Selfish self is dissolved into selfless other. every service, every Obon service, every Sunday service, every funeral, every memorial, leads us to resolve this separation of selfish self and selfless other. Every practice, meditation, chanting, cooking chicken, serving tea, offering dana, time, money, effort, all of these things direct us to resolve selfish self and selfless other. And this is the ongoing process of Shin Buddhist education that is happening right here, right now. So with this shift in perspective, we are enabled to recognize that our place in the present is not some nebulous thought or hope of belonging. Our place in the spectrum of all things is firmly rooted in our interconnectedness to people and events that stretch back to the beginningless beginning and also reaching forward into the unforeseeable future. The unanswerable questions of who am I, what am I, are answered in our interconnectedness to all things. This is the point to the Obon story, the Obon service, and to every Shin Buddhist teachings. The cultivation of grounded and secure people who can help each other to deal with and appreciate this one opportunity at life. Please join me in Gassho and let me read this quote to conclude the message. Jodo Shinshu does not look upon Obon as the time when the souls of one's ancestors return, or that the services, offerings, dancing, lights are for the benefit of one's dead relatives. It is rather the time to remember and honor all those who have passed on before us. It is to appreciate all that they have done for us and to recognize the continuation of their deeds upon our lives. Obon is a time for self-reflection, an important Buddhist practice, for it is only when man becomes aware of his imperfections and insufficiency, in contrast to his ideals, that religion becomes a matter of value, priority, and personal concern. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 Namanda. Okay, thank you very much for letting me share this message with you today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sensei, for your very thoughtful message. Please stand for our closing gatha, Obon no Uta. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you again, Sensei, for being here today. Thank you, Dr. Kent Matsuda, for playing the organ. Dara Yagi started the service with Kancho. I'd like to thank the Toban for the flowers offerings and the obupan. So I would like to thank all of you for attending our service today, especially the Hatsubon families who were able to be with us. And as far as this, this program, you're invited to take it home as a remembrance if you wish. So please, it's a nice program, so if you'd like to take it home, please be our guest. For those of you who have not had a chance to come up to offer incense, please do before you leave the Ondo. There are, I believe, some light snacks to be served outside after the service. So once again, thank you very much for coming here today.